This is Big Poppy Racing.
Folks, it's time for the last event. We're looking at the blue bracket for the Fat Track Free-For-All. 40 foot of track. We'll start off with 2 lanes, so the cars get a good start. Then we'll go into a 90 degree downhill, a 90 degree downhill, a 90 degree, and level to the finish. Every car will race. So here's the field. This is the blue bracket. The cars are seated, as you can see to the left-hand side, by their points at the end of the slalom. The first and second seeds in each bracket will have byes in the first round. It's car versus car. As we go down the list here, you will get no points for winning the first race. After the first round, you'll go into the second. If you win the second round race, you will get 5 points. If you win the third round race, you will get 10, and you will go into the 32 car double elimination tournament. Each car will get all the points they accumulate. Each team will get all the points their cars accumulate. 2 wins advances. Here's a look at the matchups for the blue bracket. All 60 cars. That's counting the 4 byes is a 64 bracket, but this is going to give a shot for everybody to have another shot at things. We've got some really good cars in this race, and I think this is going to be a really good event. So let's get started. Here's our test cars. They'll come down individually. We're going to run this about 3/4 speed. We have some swerves or dips in the track, and I did this intentionally so that we could get some passing action. Right through here is going to be the most active, I think. And you can see the red car won twice, so he will advance. So League of Speed's Mustang gets a bye. This is Down Squad's Mazda and Button Boy's Turbulence. Turbulence does really well, and with the Mazda right behind him, so Turbulence is up 1-0. Here's our second race around the curve. Turbulence seems to be in control of things, and it will take the win. Here's the Mercedes from Lily's Boneyard and Kaboom's Rolls Royce. Looks like the Mercedes is going to lengthen out and take the win. And here we go with Heat 2. And the Rolls is fighting, just can't get around her. And they will finish the race. So Lily's advances. Here's Road Rage Racing 2's Mega Thrust and the Silver Streaks Kia. Mega Thrust out to an early lead. Oh, loses control into the third corner and is going to limp through backwards. The Kia is stuck up by the curve. Here's our Heat 2. Mega Thrust up 1-0. Here's down one. Here's down the other. And Mega Thrust is going to cross to go 2-0. Here's Mr. BFG's Speed Bump and Road Rage Racing 64 Nova Gasser. Pushing through a little bit. Oh, the Nova's overturned. The Gasser has. And is he going to make it? Speed Bump, if it can finish, will take the first heat, and it will finish. Speed Bump's up 1-0. Tough on this Gasser on these curves. They just doesn't want to hang. It fights, pushes. Oh, and it's going to push. Yeah, it's going to push her through the curve, and now Speed Bump, Mr. BFG Speed Bump will advance. Here's Gut Feelings, Brit Speed, and Rio Rides Nissan Skyline. The Skyline out to an early lead. Oh, the Brit Speed helps it out. Pushes it on down the course, and Rio will be up 1-0. Here's race 2. Brit Speed jumping to the lead. Around the second curve. Looks like it might hang in there and take it, and it does. So now we've got a 1-1 tie. So here's our rubber heat. The winner will advance. Brit Speed out of... Oh, there's the pass by the Skyline. And it is going to finish and move on. In case you're wondering, everyone has a car in each bracket. Here's Troy Racing's Toyota Supra and Big Poppy's Carbonite. The Supra gets the early lead. The Carbonite passes. And we'll spin around, and around 3, and the Carbonite will not finish. But the Supra does. So the Supra's up. Yeah, bad shape. Supra's up 1-0. Big Poppy having the same luck he's had the entire tournament. The Supra's ahead here and going to coast to an easy win. Troy Racing and the Supra will go on to advance. Here's H-Town's 68 Cougar and Cut Rock Racing Ferrari F40. F40s usually do pretty good on the track. He's got the lead in the first heat and will finish 1-0 against the Cougar. Here's our Heat 2 down the straight. Then they get all the Cougars got the advantage this time, going through 1-2 turns, and now will, with the assistance of the Ferrari, get pushed across the line. We're 1-1. Let's go to the rubber match. Here we go. Battling tight, the Cougar jumps out to the early lead and looks like it will cruise to win 2-1. DXP's flat out has a bye, so this is JX4's Porsche and Taiwan on Sandy's Roger Dodger. The Roger Dodger jumping out to an early lead around 3, and he's up 1-0 heat-wise. Here comes the Porsche. Let's go to Heat 2. Down the track they go, even into the curve. They fight a little bit. The Roger Dodger's up ahead. It's going to spin, and the Porsche, oh, look there. There's Porsche comes around and takes the second heat. 1-1. Here's the rubber heat. Winner advances. Down we go. Again, oh, there's another good pass by the Porsche. Told you that part of the track's going to be good for passing. And the Porsche will advance on 2-1. Here's Big Al's Rescue Ranger and R&R Rhett's Nissan Silvia. Ranger out to the lead around number 2. Goes around number 3, and oh, what a pass! Let's see. Oh, looky here. The Silvia backs just ahead. So the Silvia up 1-0. Here we go. Rescue Ranger again pushes oh, and the Silvia has actually going to take the second heat and move on. Got the Rescue Ranger up on edge. Here's the Aero Flash of Metal Mania and NJ's Drive Swoop Coupe. Oh, yeah, the Aero Flash is just moving right on. It is going to take the first heat. And here's Heat 2. The Swoop Coupe just not very suited for this type of racing. And the Aero Flash will move on 2-0. Here's Mr. Mom Bubba's Charger and A-Team's Lamborghini Urus. Hey, here they go, the Charger with the early lead around 2. Here's 3, and he will take the first heat. The Urus comes in afterwards. Down the track they go. The Charger hits the first curve first. And it looks like if he can keep it steady, he will advance on 2-0. Poor Boy Racing has a Kia Stinger and Husky King a Corvette C6R. Whoa, the Stinger jumped out to an early... Oh, no, it's turned over. There goes the Corvette, a little slow, but he's going to take the first heat. So the Corvette's up 1-0. Here we go again. Po' boy, like Big Poppy, not having a lot of luck this year, but this time the Stinger's going to take it, and we're tied up 1-1 as we go to the bumper heat. Here they go into the curve. The Corvette with the early nice pass by the Stinger. He loses control. Can he back around? He will, and he will advance 2-1. Here's Gen X's AMC Javelin and Booga Basement's Mustang. They start off the Mustang with the early lead. The Javelin trying to hang with him, but the Mustang will take the first heat, followed closely by the Javelin. Let's go to Heat 2. This time the Javelin takes the early lead, and let's see if he will hold it. Round 2, round 3, and he will win. So we're 1-1. Here's the bumper. They go into it. They fight a little bit. Oh, the Javelin makes a good pass down before turn 2, and he will cruise to take the win. Look back, the Mustang's trying, but just can't get there. 2-1. Here's Michael's Diecast Garage, his Roger Dodgers 2.0, and Uncle Elvis's The Governor. The Governor's fighting. Oh, no, the Roger Dodger gets by between 1 and 2, and it will cruise to win the first heat over the Governor. And here's Heat 2. They cruise down into the curve. Roger Dodger with the lead around 2. And there comes the Governor around. Nice pass. He'll tie things up 1-1. And here's the rubber heat. Whoever wins this moves on. The Governor with the lead comes around 2. Comes around 3. And, the Roger Dodger just pushes past him. What a move. Arlo's Mercedes has a bye. Here's WB's Racing Wobbly Bob with a Kia Stinger. Captain K's got a Lotus Esprit. The Lotus is in the lead around 3 and pulls up and lets the Stinger take race 1. Here's race 2. Stinger takes the lead around 2, and if he can finish, he will finish and make things 2-0. Look back, the Lotus got hung in the curve. Here's Mr. Mom Joe's Toyota Supra and Rusty Rod's Honda Civic. Looks like the Supra takes the early lead, almost loses control. He's around 2 and 3, and he will back through and be up 1-0. Here's the second heat. Again, the Supra out front. Little different version, got exposed wheels. Well, it's going to turn over, and the Honda is going to take the next lead, and now it's tied 1-1. This heat winner advances. The Supra again out front, bounces off. If he can hold it, he will advance on. Here's Lady of Speed's trim truck and R&R Riker with his Lancer Evo. The trim truck taking off. These trucks are good for speed. They're having issues, though, on some of the tracks. And it is up. The Lady of Speed's up 1-0. Here we go around the curve. And it is going to... No, wait. It's not. It did not cross. It did not cross the finish line. And Riker's Lancer crosses to make it 1-1. Here we go to the rubber heat. Around the curve we go. The trim truck out in front. If it can just keep it on the track, and it will advance 2-1 against Riker's Lancer. Here's Blue Line, 67 Mustang, and Aces High Dodge Challenger. Around the first curve. Well, that car's moving pretty good. The 67 Mustang will take the first heat, no problem. Let's go to heat 2. Again, fast out of the gate. A little heavier car. And it's circumventing everything, looking good, comes around. Oh no, looky here, the Challenger will take heat 2, and it's 1-1. Who's going to advance? Mustang out in front, around 2. Around 3, and yeah, the Mustang's going to win this and move 2-1. Hot Car Track has a Chevy Silverado. Toon Tracks has a Taxi. They're going to fight and fight. The Silverado's going to get by. And around 3, and it is going to pass with the help of the Taxi. So the truck's up 1-0. Here's heat 2. Around they go. They're fighting. They're bumping a lot. It looks like the Silverado is going to advance 2-0. Next up, Irons Diecast has a Truino, and 7th Infantry has the Cockney Cab 2. Looks like the Toyota's going to jump out and take the win. Here comes the cab. So the Jeremy Irons is up 1-0. Here we go to heat 2. And again, the Toyota does lose it there, but backs around, and with the help of the cab, they will advance 2-0. Here's Red Pill's BMW and Nick Deaver's Turbulence. They go into the corner. Looks like the BMW, Matchbox BMW, is going to take the win, 1-0. Here is heat 2. Again, he's first to the corner. They fight a little bit. The Turbulence is not wanting to give up, and does pass. Look here. Nick Devers is going to take heat 2 to make it 1-1. So here's our rubber match. Who's going to advance? Into the curve, the Turbulence is out front. They're fighting and fighting. They're not wanting to let go. Oh, nice pass by the BMW. Red Pill is going to move on 2-1 against Nick Devers. Overclocked has a Triumph TR6, 4114 Racing, a Ferrari Testarossa. Of course, your nightmare, Mercedes, had a bye. So here they go. Looks like the Testarosa's in first and will spin and pass the line. Just in case you're wondering, yep, had a half car length. So he's up 1-0. Here's race 2. They get to the corner. The Testarossa comes out ahead, out of 2. Little flip by the Triumph, and the Testarossa will advance. Here's Scales Racing's Solaire CX4 and G-Buggy's Way Too Fast. Down they come, the Way Too Fast with the early lead. Around 1, around 2, around 3, and Way Too Fast is up 1-0. Here's the second race. Again, the Way Too Fast with the early lead. Around 1, around 2. They're going to lose it. Oh, here's a pass. Nice pass by the Solaire. And now it's tied up. Who's going to advance? Winner will move on. Again, Way Too Fast out early, loses it after the second curve. The Soul Air will advance. Here's the Mercedes of Rivera Racing and the Ferrari of Hot Wheels Collection. Looks like the Mercedes is out to the early lead. Around 1 does a little spin, backs around 3, but will take the early lead 1-0. Here's Heat 2. Mercedes again out front around the first curve. It's going to navigate. Oh, no, we're having some issues. Can he get around? Can he get around? Here comes the Ferrari, but not fast enough. The Mercedes will back across the line and advance 2-0. Next up, Mrs. BFG's Ferrari F40 and Just for Luck's Ford Escort. The Escort's a Matchbox, one of those slow Matchbox super fast. The Ferrari will take Heat 1, and we go to Heat 2. The Ferrari out of the gate around the curve first. There's 1, there's 2. Doesn't look to have any problems, and it will advance on 2-0. Here's Redline Salvage Inc.'s Carbide and Dirty Deeb's Way Too Fast. The Carbide, I think, is going to do pretty good in this. Is around 1. Didn't hang on to it, but let's see if he can. He did recover and will go on with a 1-0. The Way Too Fast, like the other one, got hung up in that second curve. I think they're hitting that curve just way too fast and can't negotiate it. Here's Heat 2, the Carbide out in front again. Goes through. They both get through, but the Carbide is going to finish with a 2-0 lead. Here's Team DRT3K's Chevelle and Big Rami's Subaru WBRX tuned. Looks like the Chevelle's going to take the early lead and, with the help of the Subaru, get across. 1-0 for the Chevelle. Down they go into the curve. This time the Subaru's ahead. Through 1, through 2. Good race. And the Subaru will tie things up 1-1. Here's the rubber match. Whoever wins this heat will advance. The Subaru out in front. The Chevelle tries to pass. Just cannot get around. The Subaru will move on. 734 Outlaws have the Silver Bullet, and Pepler Racing has the Toyota AE86. Silver Bullet, one of the Ultra Hots, fast through the curves, and will advance to 1-0 here. This is the last race of the first round. And down for Heat 2. Again, the Silver Bullet jumping out in front. Toyota just not able to stay ahead or keep up with it, and they will advance 2-0. So here's a look at the matchups for round 2. No points have accumulated yet. Now, starting in this round, if you win, you will get 5 points for a win in this round upcoming. As you can see, we're down to 16 heats with 32 cars. First up, League of Speeds, Ford Mustang GT and Button Boys Turbulence. Here's the Mustang out with the early lead, around 2. Around 3. Oh, no, he loses it on 3, and the Button Boys Turbulence is going to take round 1. So now here's the Mustang fighting for his life. He's around 1. He's around 2. He's going to lose it. Is he going to get, he's going to back and keep it. It's 1-1, folks. Winner advances. The loser goes home. Here we go. The Mustang and the Turbulence fighting through 1, through 2. Here's the fight. The Turbulence gets by, and the Turbulence will advance past the number 1 ranked Mustang. Here's Lily's Mercedes and Road Rage Racing 2's Mega Thrust. Even into the first curve, the Mega fights, but the Mercedes comes around. And if she can negotiate the rest, she will. She will take Heat 1 over the Mega Thrust. Here's Heat 2. Down the straightaway, the Mercedes with a little bit of a lead. They're fighting through 2. The Mercedes hanging on through 3, and it will advance 2-0 over the Mega Thrust. Now, these races are worth 5 points each as they go into round 3. Here's the speed bump of Mr. BFG and Rio Rides Nissan Skyline. They're even into the first curve. Yep, the speed bump does a little bumping around 2, leaving the Nissan behind, and the speed bump will take a 1-0 lead. Here is Heat 2. Down they go, the speed bump with a little bit of lead into 1. And they're trying to pass. The Nissan passes. Looky here. And the Skyline will even things up 1-1. And that means we've got do or die right here. Even into turn, the speed bump comes out of 1. Here's 2. And the speed bump will advance 2-1. Next up, Troy Racing Supra and H-Town Hustlers Cougar. I think this is going to be a good race. Here we go. The Cougar out front. It will take the first heat, 1-0, and the Supra just a little bit slow coming out. And now we swap lanes, and here we go for heat 2. The Supra ahead in the corner. He's going to nose him out around 2 and around 3, and now we've got a 1-1 tie, and this will be do or die here. Winner moves on. The Cougar bounces off the Supra ahead as they come in. Here he comes around the second curve, and the H-Town Hustlers Cougar stops the Supra and advances. Here's DXP's Flat Out and JX4's Porsche. They're fighting hard through 2. The 4-4-2 is backing around 3 and will back to a 1-0 lead, leaving the Porsche back in the corner. Here's heat 2. Down they go, the 4-4-2 first into the curve. Out of curve 2. He spins around. Here's the Porsche is going to take the lead and tie it up 1-1. So here's our rubber match. The winner moves on. The 4-4-2 again, first in, fighting hard, fighting hard. Look at this race, folks. And look here, the 4-4-2 will eke it out 2-1. Here's R&R Rets, Nissan Silvia, and Metal Mania's Aero Flash. The Aero Flash, the first to curve 1. Around, here's around 2. They're fighting the 3, and it will be Aero Flash for 1-0. Here's heat 2. The Aero Flash again to the corner first. Through 1, through 2. As long as he can hold it straight, looks like he will take it 2-0 and advance on. Up next in round 2, Mr. Mom Bubba's Charger and Pull Boy's Stinger. Here they go into the corner. Pull Boy's fighting hard. He's trying to keep that big Charger behind him, but it just is not going to happen in heat 1. So the Charger up 1-0. Here they go in. The Charger gets to the corner first. He's able to slow the Kia down enough, and if he can maintain control, he will move on 2-0. Here's Gen X's Javelin and Michael's Diecast Garage Roger Dodger. The Dodgers to the turn first. He's through 1, they're through 2. Little tomahawk spin. Just showing off, it looks like. Roger Dodger will take a 1-0 lead. Swap lanes. Here's heat 2. They're down a little tighter this time, but the Roger Dodger noses his way. Oh, no, the Javelin with a nice pass and even things up 1-1 as that Roger Dodger did another turnaround in that after turn 2. So here's the rubber heat. Can the Roger Dodger hold it straight? No, he does not. He overturns. The Javelin will move on. Here's Arlo's Mercedes and Wobbly Bob's Kia Stinger. Down they go. The Mercedes with the early lead around 1 through 2. If he can hold it steady, he does a little turnaround in 3, but still takes the first heat. And here's heat 2. Again, the Mercedes, the first to the curve, around the Kia fighting, but just not able to get by. And the Mercedes advances 2-0. Next up, Mr. Mom's Toyota Supra and the Lady of Speed's trim truck. Here they go. Oh, the Supra's pushed off the track. Don't worry, folks, we got cushions down. If the trim truck can finish, which it does, here's heat 2. Trim truck's up 1-0. The Supra now pushes him out of the way, goes in, gets just a little sideways, and the Lady of Speed in her trim truck will advance to round 3. See the Toyota's leftover turn just after 2. Here's Blue Line Racing 67 Mustang and Hot Car Track Chevy Silverado. Into the current they go. They're fighting. Looks like the Mustang fights ahead, was through 3 and will turn and take heat number 1. Here we go for heat 2. Down we go. They're into the turn together. They're fighting. Looks like the Mustang's going to come out ahead as they fight some more. Through 3, and the Mustang will advance 2-0. Next up, Irons Diecast with his Toyota Torino and the BMW of Red Pill. Looks like the BMW is ahead, and well, we thought so. Here's the Toyota around 3, and the Toyota's going to go up backwards 1-0 over Red Pill and the BMW. Here's the second heat. Into the curve. They're fighting. Looks like the BMW is going to outmuscle it. Well, just hold on. It does. It outmuscles and holds on against. So now we've got a 1-1 Winner advances to round 3. They're pushing, they're nosing, they're into 2. The BMW, if he can get around 3, and he will go 3-0. Here's your Nightmare Racing Mercedes and the 4114 Testarossa. The Ferrari fights around, and we'll go to win, yes, Heat 1. Mercedes just behind him, Testarossa up 1-0. Mercedes first to the corner around. Can he keep the lead? The Testarossa fighting gets around, and the Testarossa of 4114 will move on. Here's Scale Racing Solaire and the Rivera Racing Mercedes. They fight the Mercedes out front after 1, after 2. They come in after 3. Oh, the Solaire again, a sneaky pass. Solaire up 1-0. He did that in the last round too. Mercedes nosing by with the lead, comes into 3, and he will win Heat 2. So we're going on to the third and final race. Who's going to win this and advance on for 10 points and getting closer? They're fighting. What a race, folks. Look at the fight. And the Solaire is able to pass him. Next up is the Ferrari F40 of Miss BFG and Redline Salvage Carbide. They go around 1, the F40 with the early lead, round 3, and we'll take the first heat. Carbide coming in afterwards. Here's Heat 2. Ferrari's up 1-0. First one of the corner. Carbide fighting, getting around. But now the Ferrari passes again, and he will go 2-0. Here's Big Rami's Subaru Tuned and 734 Outlaw's Silver Bullet. First one of the curve is the Bullet through 2. If he can just hold it still through 3, and he will take a 1-0 lead on the Subaru. Here's Heat 2. Down to the corner, even into the curve. They fight. Oh, the Subaru gives him a nudge. And if the Subaru can hold his own, he will take the second heat. So it's 1-1. Who wants it bad enough? Here we go. The Silver Bullet's into the curve first. They're bouncing off the sides. And the Silver Bullet will hit 3. He turns around. Oh, no. No, they've stopped. So no finish there. Here's the heat again. Who's going to win? Here's the Silver Bullet over the top. Can he keep it in? He is, and he will advance 2-1. So with that, we go to the third round. This will be the final round. 16 cars to get us down to 8. 10 points to each winner. You've got the Button Boys Turbulence and Lily's Boneyards Mercedes. They go around. That Turbulence has been fighting, folks. It's around, and it will take the first heat, 1-0. So Button Boys and the Turbulence up 1-0. Here we go into Heat 2. He gets out of the corner ahead. If he can stay ahead, it looks like he will. The Button Boys Turbulence will advance to the Big 8. Next up, Mr. BFG's Speed Bump and H-Town Hustlers Cougar. The Cougar out turn early. Oh, he bounces off on the table. Looks like the Speed Bump, if he can finish, will take a 1-0 lead. Here's the Rubber, or match 2, I'm sorry. They come in. Again, the Cougar takes off in front, bouncing around all over the track. Can he finish? He does. And now we have a 1-1 match. The winner of this will advance to the Big 8 plus 10 points. Here we go. Through the curve. The Cougar's up on his edge. The Speed Bump gets around him. Can he get through? He will, and the Speed Bump will advance, leaving the Cougar with a wheel off the track. Our next match, DXP Racing has his Flat Out 442 and Metal Mania's Aero Flash. Here they come. Looks like the 442 is going to get around 3, and he will finish for a 1-0 lead, leading the Aero Flash over in the corner. Next up, here's Heat 2. 442 into the corner first and second and third going to leave, and he is going to advance on 2-0. Here's Mr. Mom Bubba's Charger and Gen X's AMC Javelin. Charger first to the corner, noses out, gets turned around, slows the Javelin down, but if he can maneuver 3, he will back across the line and take a 1-0 lead. Now we go to Heat 2. Into the corner they go. It looks like the Charger's going to get the lead. He does. He basically pushes the Javelin to the side, and the Charger will advance 2-0 over the Javelin. Here's Arlo Racing's Mercedes and the Lady of Speed's Trim Truck. Into the curve they go. Mercedes with the early lead, Trim Truck pushing behind, and Mercedes is going to win the first one with the truck pulling in second. Got tangled up after curve 2. Here they go again. The Mercedes is out in front. That time the Trim Truck turned over out of one, and it looks like the Mercedes will advance on 2-0 with the Trim Truck turning upside down on the track. Here's Blue Line Racing 67 Mustang and Red Pills BMW M1. This will be a good race. The Mustang noses out of turn 1, gets through 3, and he stopped. He stopped. The BMW able to come from behind and win. Red Pill pulling off a little miracle there. Fighting back and forth, fighting back and forth. Who's going to have it? It looks like the Mustang, they're both backing around, and the Mustang is going to take heat too. So now it's 1-1. Two good cars. Who's going to advance? They're fighting and fighting. Looks like Blue Line's out ahead. Oh, he's gone up on the track. The BMW comes flying by, and Red Pill will advance. Wow, good racing. 4114's Testarossa, Scale Racing Solar CX4. That CX4 has been pulling off some stunts, but right now the Testarossa is going to take first heat easy, with the Solar being left up after turn 1 down the straightaway. Here's heat 2. They come into the corner equal. The Testarossa, here's the Solar with the pass. And if he can hang on, he's going to tie this. He does. 1-1 as the Testarossa comes in afterwards. So here we go. For the Big 8. Into the turn. They're even. The Solar bounces out ahead. Is ahead at the moment. Out of 1, out of 3. There, he's going to take it. The Solar will advance. So here we are, the final race for the Big 8 in blue bracket. Miss BFG's F40 and 734 Outlaw Silver Bullet. And neither one of them are going to win Heat 1. This is going to be a fight, folks. Here's the Silver Bullet fighting them off in round curve 2. If he can keep it on the track. Or round 3, could he take? He does. The Silver Bullet goes ahead 1-0. Here's Heat 3, or actually Heat 2. The first heat didn't finish. This time the Ferrari has jumped out front, and it will take the lead, so we're tied up 1-1. Whoever wins this race will move on. The Silver Bullet's in the head, goes around. Oh, now the Ferrari couldn't move by the Ferrari, and the Ferrari will move on. So here's the blue bracket 8. Arlo Racing's Mercedes, DXP's Flat Out 442, Mr. Mom Bubba's Charger, Miss BFG's Ferrari F40, Mr. BFG's Speed Bump, Red Pill Racing's BMW, Scale Racing Channel's Solar CX4, and Button Boy's Turbulence. Next up, red bracket. See you then.
This has been a Big Poppy Racing production.